Good day everyone and welcome back to our channel. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the possible essay questions that you can expect for November examination for Business Studies Grade 12 for Paper 1. So if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, like, and also click on that notification button so that you can be notified every time when we upload a new video. Let's get started. So business studies question paper is split into two question papers, which is paper 1 and paper 2. And paper 1 focuses on business environment and business operations. So when you are writing your essays, what you have to do is to study the topic that you understand more. For example, if you understand more essays that are under business environment, you must focus on that. And if you understand more essays that falls under business operations, you focus on that one. And in this video, we're going to be focusing on business environments. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the possible questions that you can expect for paper 1 for November examination under business environments. So business environment includes impact of recent legislation on a business, device strategies, business sectors, and their environments. So one of the questions that you can expect under business environment is legislation. So under legislation, we have different acts. So what I will advise you is that when you are studying for legislation, you should look at all the acts, understand each act, understand the purpose of that act, the impact that the act has on businesses, and also the penalties for any business that does not comply to the act. For example, here you can be asked about to discuss about Employment Equity Act. You can be asked to discuss about the Labor Relations Act. You can be asked to discuss about the Skills Development Act. You can be asked to discuss about the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. So what I will advise you is to study all the acts, understand them, understand the purpose, understand the impacts that the act has on businesses, and also the penalties for companies or businesses that do not comply with the act. And the second question that you can expect is business strategies. So I'm going to be using this question to help you better understand how to answer an essay question or how to write an essay correctly. So when you start your essay, we know that you start with an introduction. And please don't copy anything that is written in the scenario. The scenario is just there to remind you of what a business strategy is about. So don't copy anything that is in the scenario. So when you start your introduction, the first thing that you must do or you should know, for example, here we're talking about business strategies. So you should know what a strategy is. So we know that a strategy is a plan to achieve one or more long-term or overall goals. So what you have to do is, with your knowledge of what a strategy is, you can write 2 points on introduction. For example, let's say a business has a goal of being at the top of its competitors. It wants to be the best. It wants to be the business that every customer runs to. So how are they going to get there? They need a strategy in order to achieve that goal. So, for example, they can decide to say that we are going to produce more quality products and we are going to offer our products at a cheaper price or at a reasonable price. And that way we know that the customers are going to prefer our products compared to those of our competitors. So in order for them to achieve that goal, they are going to need a strategy. So a strategy generally involves setting goals and priorities, determining actions to achieve those goals, and also mobilizing resources to execute the actions. So a strategy describes how the end goals will be achieved. So when you are writing your introduction, you can just write one point about what a strategy is about, or just introduce a business strategy. And also, you can see that in this question, the question also includes the Porter's five forces model. So you can also write your second point. Since for introduction, you need to write 2 points. For your second point, you can write about the Porter's model to say that the Porter's model is a model that identifies and analyzes five competitive forces that shape every industry. So for your introduction, you are just introducing like the topic, you are introducing the essay. So you can either write 2 points on what a business strategy is, and then write, or you can just write what a business strategy is all about. And then for your other point, you can just introduce the Porter's five forces model. So what I love about business studies is that they give you your subtopics. You don't have to start coming up with subtopics. So when you write your body, please don't start by writing the heading body. Yes, for introduction, we write introduction as a heading and you write your 2 points. So after writing your 2 points for introduction, your first heading is going to be steps in developing a strategy. So you're going to use all those headings that are provided for you in the question, which is the steps in developing a strategy, the 3 types of integration strategies, and all those other points. So all these points, they need to be included in your essay. So let's move on to introduction. So for your first point, you can say that businesses should always develop strategies as they operate in a dynamic environment that poses many challenges. As I said, that in order for you to write your introduction, you need to understand what is a strategy. So when you understand that, you can write a point that explains the importance of a business having a strategy. And for your second point, you can write about the Porter's five forces model, which enables businesses to shift the power of competitors or threat of substitutes in their favor. So knowing what a strategy is and knowing what the Porter's five forces is all about, it's going to help you in writing your introduction. And then we move on to write our body, where we're going to start by explaining the first subheading, which is steps in developing a strategy. So the first step when developing a strategy is to apply SWOT analysis, which is the strength of the business, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. And also to look into the political, the economic, the social, the technological, the legal, and the environmental factors. And also to look at the Porter's five forces or environmental scanning of business environment. And the second step is to formulate strategies to meet objectives or to develop measurable strategic goals. And the third step is to implement strategies using action plans. And the fourth one is to evaluate strategies to compare the expected performance with the actual performance, to measure business performance to determine the reasons for deviations and also analyze these reasons. And we're going to move on to the second subheading, which is provided for us in the essay question, which is to explain or discuss the 3 types of integration strategies. We have what is called the forward integration or forward vertical integration. We have the backward integration or backward vertical integration, and horizontal integration. So what an integration is, it's a process of successfully joining or mixing with different groups. So we can say that an integration strategy is a framework for making decisions about integration and selecting the right capabilities to address the organization's needs. So we have 3 types of integrations. So before discussing the integration strategies, we need to understand what the strategies are. So when we speak about forward integration, it's when a firm takes control of its distributors or it establishes its own distributors. For example, let's say a bag manufacturer is selling their products to a distribution agency that acts as a middleman that then sells the product to retailers. And the more the bags or the more the products moves from one hand to the other, the less the company or the firm makes profit. So then the firm can then decide to say that we are going to take control of the distribution process and we are going to distribute our product directly to the retailers without having a middleman or without using an agency. And when we speak about the backward integration, it's when a firm gains ownership of its supplier or it establishes its own. So imagine a company that sells dairy products in a grocery store. They pay a large amount to buy the products from farmers who produce the dairy products. So let's say then they then decide to say, you know what, in order to cut cost, we are going to establish our own farm under our company and we take control of the manufacturing of this product. We are going to now start manufacturing our own goods. Horizontal integrations occur when a business acquires or merges with another company in the same industry that is operating at the same level in the value chain. And you're going to discuss all the three integrations. So, for the first one, which is forward integration, you can say that a business combines with or takes over its distributors. And for the second point, you can say it involves expansion of business activities to join control over the different distribution of the products. And for backward integration, you can say a business combines with or takes over its suppliers. And the second point is it aims at decreasing the business dependency on the supplier. And the horizontal integration, it's a business takes over or takes control or incorporates other businesses in the same industry which produce or sell the same goods or services. And for your last point, you can say that the aim is to reduce the threat of competition or substitute products or services. Moving on to application of Potter's five forces module to analyze market environments. Power of suppliers. You're going to write 2 points for each. And for your first point for power of suppliers, you can write that suppliers that deliver high quality products may have power over the business. Assess the power of suppliers in influencing prices. So, under power of competitors, you can say that competitors selling the same or similar products or services may have a greater impact on the market of the business. And also, if competitors have a unique product or service, then they will have the greater power. Threats of substitution or substitutes. Establish whether the sellers of substitute products have improved their products or sell lower quality products at a lower price. If the company's product can be easily substituted, it weakens the power of the business in the market, which means that if a business is selling its products, it should ensure that their products are of high quality and also they offer their products at a reasonable price in order to beat the competitors. And we're moving on to steps when evaluating strategies. For your first point or your first step is that you need to examine the underlying basis of a business strategy. The second step is to look forward and backward into the implementation process. The third step is to compare the expected performance with the actual performance. The fourth step is to measure the business performance in order to determine the reasons for deviation and analyze these reasons. And the fifth step is to take corrective action so that the deviations may be corrected. And we are done. We move on to our conclusion. And for your conclusion, you have to write 1 point, and for that 1 point, you get 2 marks. So, when writing your conclusion, you can write a point that speaks about the importance of a strategy or the importance of a business having a strategy. So, you can say, for example, for your 1 point, you can say developing a strategy enables businesses to stay ahead of their competitors and increase sales or profitability. And you'll be done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And in the next video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the possible essay questions you can expect for paper 2 November examination. So if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe, like, and also click on that notification button so that you can be notified when I upload a new video. Thank you.